What is a brother?
A brother.
Brother.
A brother.
A brother.
Brothers. A brother.
Brother.
Forged and sharp.
Who supports you.
Reliable. Full trust.
They'll protect you.
Hold me accountable.
A friend could hear your pain through your sound.
And there to pick you up without judgment.
So brotherhood to me is a journey and not a destination.
Welcome to Brother Empowerment.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. It is Thursday, so you know what that means. It's Brother Empowerment Day. Excuse my my lack of adrenaline. I am fresh out of the gym, so this is a different different day for me. Usually, I don't go to the gym because I'm at the Brother Empowerment headquarters before the show starts. But yeah. Anyways, it's Brother Empowerment Day. It's Thursday. Thanks for being here with us. If you have not been with us before, first of all, you have been missing out because it's lit over here. But no, for those of you who are new, Brother Empowerment is not a bashing show or really a finger pointing show or really anything like that. This is a safe space and a vault. Where brothers and their families can be free of judgment, free of criticism, and where we can work together to really be better men and really get to the root of the ills that are affecting the community. That's what Brother Empowerment is. So, I even got a different kind of shirt on today to really just, get in the spirit. So, like I said, thank you for joining us today. We will have some guests on. They'll be rolling in here. It's been kind of an interesting day as far as the guests go. So we'll be getting all that going on. But I wanted to, just get everything started. As far as my week, because I'm one person here right now, so I just tell you guys about my week. My week it's been pretty all over the place. Getting stuff done. As everyone knows, gas prices are going up. So just taking a stroll to the grocery store down the street is costing a lot more money than it used to. So stuff has been, pretty hectic, but getting things done and really just taking care of stuff and really just been on the route to actually saving money. So, oh, wow. Look who we have here.
Hey.
Hello. Oh, let's do this. Yeah, there we go. So, She-Hulk, aka my Brewski, is on with us. What good afternoon. Well, no, good evening. Welcome. I think this is the first time you've been on in quite some time.
Yeah, no, we did the show at the Underground.
You right. You were exactly right. So that was only a couple weeks ago. So yeah, my memory is terrible. For sure. But for those who don't know, since I already said how my week was, please introduce yourself to the audience and tell them how your week has been.
So I am Rashad, aka She-Hulk, aka future Mrs. Gibson. And let's see, my week has been very stressful. New jobs, kind of adjusting life. And I will say that part of the day, the stress is managing me. And then a part of the day, I'm managing the stress. But it's been good, though. Looking forward to a great weekend. Spend some time with some much needed time with some friends. So it's been a funky week, but it's going to be a great weekend.
Yes. The great part about Brother Empower being on Thursday is that the next day is Friday and then the weekend is right there. So, okay. Well, like I said, we got some guests that are supposed to be rolling in, but we are going to go ahead and proceed. So I'm going to get with everybody who's in the audience, and you'll please excuse me while at the same time I'm sharing in different groups and stuff. So we're going to get to the audience. So we have Sean from YouTube land. What's going on, Sean, man? Always supporting us from YouTube land. So always holding it down. So thank you, man. We got everyone's big sis Tara in the building. What's going on, Tara? Jay, what's going on, man? Well, he popped in and out because he's in the play because Finding Patience started today. So the performances are starting. So he popped in to say what's up from LinkedIn land. And then Tara said Rashia has her own camera this time, so it's a different level. So yeah, your performance is, not your performance, but your appearance is different this time around because you got your own camera. So before we get into our quotes for the evening, why don't you tell the people what confident credit is and what it's about?
So Confident Credit is my nonprofit, so 501c3, in financial literacy and credit counseling. So I've been in banking now 13 years, and something that I realized being on the front line is that there are so many people who are at disadvantage when it comes to money management, investing, building credit. And I just decided that I wanted to be that for people. I wanted to be able to put that information back into the community and help uplift and encourage and empower people through credit and through finance.
Okay. No, that's dope. And financial literacy is one of the things in the community that is, well, in the Black community that is, kind of lacking, that is lacking. So no, that's right in there where it needs to be. Michael Johnson man said, "Hey, Jeremy."
Jay.
Hey, folks, what's going on, Michelle? Michelle, thank you for coming. James Hall in the building. What's going on, Jay Hall, man?
Wait a minute, I ain't seen James since that. I need to have a conversation with James. Where you been? I ain't seen you, friend.
He hit the big 5-0. He got ghost.
He did.
Go to the party. Bye. Some of our guests having would be guests having technical difficulties. All right, so we're actually gonna go ahead and get started. So while we wait for them to hop on, so let's first off, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Excuse me. Sustained exhaustion is not a rite of passage. It's a mark of stupidity. Jason Fried.
Yeah. So when I think about that, right, like I think about how people talk about, I gotta work, I gotta get this money, you can sleep when you're dead. You need to sleep now. Like you need to rest now. So it's like I kind of get it, like sustained exhaustion, like constantly being exhausted, tiring yourself out mentally, physically, emotionally. To me, it's not something that you would brag about. Like I won't say that it's stupid, but it's not the best thing you could do for yourself. So I agree, Jason.
Yeah. Jay said he's working these nights. Tara said burn the candle at both ends is not it. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that too. And I agree that whole what you said about sleeping when you're dead. Now that whole just work until to the point of exhaustion. It's it's interesting how when you think about and you see the habits when people who are wealthy or have a lot of resources get interviewed and they talk about their habits, they have leisurely activities, they rest, they don't, of course there are some other people who are headfirst in their work all the time because they want to make as much money as they can, this and that. But you look at some of the richest people on this earth, and as far as monetarily speaking, and they don't, they're not working 12, 14 hours a day. They're taking vacations, it's that. I think that's something that's a load of doo-doo that we were fed in the form of good advice. And that whole, I'll sleep when I'm dead is what Jay calls an empty calorie message. It sounds good. It's catchy. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm hustling. I'm out here hustling. Yeah, but you're working yourself to the point of exhaustion. And if you're always working or always hustling, when are you enjoying life? Where's the balance in that? And so yeah, I would definitely say that, like, it's not there's nothing, there's nothing I guess award worthy about working yourself to the point of exhaustion all the time, for the sake of, gathering resources. I mean, yeah, there's a time where, you might be, 10 toes down working hard on a project. But in my mind, it's a limited amount of time, you know,
Mhm.
and it's a very sustained, you know, predetermined amount of time. It's not just every day I'm gonna be out here working until I pass out because I have to get whatever. Yeah, I definitely think that's something that, is something that's told to, especially working class people. The American dream. You got to work hard and get it, but it's like, wait a minute. You know, you look at some people who, especially if they come from certain families, they're not out here working hard. They've been set up, from the time they were born. And so I think there's just things that there's a way of looking at things. I think that a lot of stuff that we were taught when we were younger, or just in general, just are things that we have to reevaluate and sometimes discard because it's not really for us.
Right.
It's really just something that sounds good, but it doesn't good in an applicable sense. It's not good when you put it into action. You know, um, there's nothing fun. There's nothing that even sounds fun about being out here on the grind for 14 out of 24 hours.
Mhm.
There's nothing sounds fun about that. Especially if you have, a family, people that you want to see and politic with. Like nothing sounds fun about that because
Yeah,
so. But yeah, no, I definitely think I think stupidity is a strong word, but
that's what I said.
I do think that I do understand the sentiment behind it.
Mhm.
It's not something that is, it's not something that is conducive to, to me, a healthy life, mentally or physically. It's not healthy. You know, there have been plenty of studies done about work life balance. And that if you don't have it, you can suffer physically uh,
Mhm.
as well as mentally. So yeah, I mean, this one is again one of those things where short quote, but many interpretations. Um, and it's interesting he used the phrase "rite of passage" because to when you depending on who you talk to, some people believe that when you're young, you have and you have more energy, you're supposed to work all the time because you're setting up your foundation for later on in life, which you know some of that I think has merit, but at the same time, like working all the time, when people talk about that, the phrase or the phrase "work smarter, not harder" comes to mind because it's
Right.
like if you are being strategic about where you're putting your muscle and where you're putting your energy, I don't believe you have to work yourself to damn near to death or daggone near to death to secure building blocks for the future. No, don't necessarily believe that will be will have to do that. So yeah, I think he strategically chose certain words: sustained exhaustion, rite of passage. Those are very strategic and those words have very specific meanings,
Right.
you know. So yeah, but okay, I like that one. I
Yeah.
don't know who Jason Friday is, but I like it, and it's a pretty good one to start off. Ready to go?
Mhm. Well, I do want to add one thing on there.
Okay.
So, I think the difference between the wealthy and others is that they realize that the most precious resource is time,
Correct.
and so they find ways to allow their money to make them money
Hmm.
because they realize that it's important to spend time with your family and it's important to, still make money and be able to take care of it. But at the same time, it's just like using your resources to acquire more resources, thus you having to work less.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. And that's a great point that you bring up. And I know we talked about this personally between the two of us that time is a non-renewable resource.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about, well, I'll sleep when I die, or I'll do this I'll do this later. I'm out here getting to the money. You're trading your time for money, but you're trading one resource that you can't get back for something that you can get, at any point in time almost. There will always be an opportunity to create or to make financial resources or to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that the circumstances behind that may differ, and there may be a certain opportunity that presents itself, in a certain small window, but there will always be an opportunity to make money. There's not going to always be an opportunity to make memories or to make the most of your time, because once the time is gone, it's gone.
Exactly.
Money has many forms, and financial resources are going to be here because they're creating new ones. We got cryptocurrency and stuff like that now. They're creating new financial resources, but there's no way to stall or recreate or rewind time.
Right.
Except in the movies and the comic books, So, yeah, I think that's one of the things that we definitely have been, some of us have been bamboozled with, is the fact that, you have time. It's like, technically you don't. You have time, and then it's gone. It's literally, you have it in one hand, and then once the time it passes, it's gone forever. So you don't necessarily have time. You're like living in time, So you don't possess time. I think that's something that people misconstrue sometimes. You don't possess time. Time is something that we're all just living in between or in, but no one owns or possesses time.
Right.
So yeah, okay. That was a good one. All right. We're gonna go to the next one. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. All things are difficult before they are easy. Thomas Fuller.
I completely agree with that. In all aspects of life, because you have to go through like that learning phase, and sometimes the learning phase looks a little bit different. It can be a little tiresome. It can be a little difficult. But once you get it, once you've learned it, once you know it, like, it's easy. And I can say that even with being engaged, like, you think it's one thing, and you have to go ahead and put in that work. Well, to me, it was best to go ahead and put in the work up front, and things are easy. Like, we're just coasting. Like, it's just. So I feel that way about a lot of things. I think he's right. Like, it has to. Well, it typically is difficult before it's easy.
Yeah, this is an interesting quote because, it says all things, and I guess I would wonder why he chose to say all things, because there are some things that we don't even think about, that we do with ease. Okay, so wait a second, because we got. Oh, look who it is!
Hey,
What's up, guys? What's going on? How y'all doing?
What's going
good.
on?
How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. I'm sorry, Cordell. I was a little late, but I'm here, bro.
Yeah, hey man, it's all good, man. I'm glad
here.
you popped in, man.
Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah, we were quick synopsis, man. So this week, I told you earlier today, we're not doing topics this season, we're doing quotables. So we were just, talking about this quote right here by Thomas Fuller, that all things are difficult before they are easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but before we get into all that, man, real quick, JB, bro, tell the people who you are, who you be, man, real quick.
My name is JB. I go by Bishop, Mr. Being incredibly successful, hovering opportunities persistently. I am a barber. I am a rapper. I am the co-host of Stupid Flow. If y'all don't know what Stupid Flow is, go check us out on YouTube. It's a dope show. It's fun. You get some good laughs in. And I'm a free spirit, man. That's me.
Okay. Hey man, good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Triumphant Michael, okay, Triumphant said, "Oh, we doing hop-ins, Mike?
Yeah.
Mike, look, man, let me find out, Mike. You got some time on your hands, bro. You want to hop in here, Mike, man." But nah, man. So JB, bro, we were talking, or Bishop, excuse me, sir. We were talking about this quote right here, that all things are difficult before they're easy, by Thomas Fuller. What you think about that, man?
I think that's a good statement by Thomas Fuller, man. You got to go through something in order to even gain anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Y'all know that saying. You know what I mean? So you got to go through something in order to gain something, especially if you want something in return. So I don't look for the easy route or nothing. I know when I do things, I go into it knowing it's gonna be hard. You know what I'm saying? And I look for that because you learn from them hardships. You learn and grow into the person that you become through them hardships. You know what I mean? So I don't go into nothing looking for nothing easy, man. I always go into it knowing it's gonna be something difficult, especially if it's my first time doing something or get my feet wet in a different arena. Yeah, I'm gonna give it my best, but I know it's gonna be some type of trial and error that come with it. But it's all about perspective and how you look at it. You know what I mean? It's all about how you look at it. So if you go into it looking at it like, hey, I know I may mess up and do this and that, then I think you'll come out better mentally. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm gonna go through something. So let me just go through it so I can get to where I'm trying to go.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
There he is.
This is what Mike said, man. This is actually the first time, Mike, man, that we have, what I'm saying, I can't say pick someone from the audience because you was just on here last week, but this is the first time we have been like, hey, we hop in, let's go. So yeah, no, this is the first time for everything. But man, Triumphant, you need no introduction. But Michelle,
how you doing, brother?
Yeah.
We good around this way.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And no one said it would be easy. But Triumphant, man, what do you think about that quote, man? JB,
well, I'm kind of going towards your approach towards it. There are some things that we do innately with ease without even thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? And I tend to think about those things more often than the things that I actually had to put a lot of work in. Like I didn't tell myself for my heart to beat the way it do. I ain't tell my central nervous system to deal with sicknesses the way it do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And those, that don't take much effort, at least in my mind, consciously, I just consider them blessings. So then that's when you start to count blessings. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole take on it. You know what I'm saying? As far as anything that we actually have to put work in, like practice making not perfect but better. We give respect to that in the ways that we do. It's the reason why we have, sports stars, athletes, movie stars, artists that have perfected that craft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess on both sides of it, yeah, all of that stuff at first is really hard. I remember the first time I actually called myself writing a poem, and it took forever. It took forever because it just wouldn't rhyme right. Just the metaphors wasn't kicking. I needed a double entendre. I had to learn what the spell with entendre was. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, in a way, a lot of those things, all that stuff is difficult at first and it gets easier. But that just gives me just more reason to think about the things that are innately done so easily. We don't have to think about it and just consider them blessings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. Yeah, this quote, this interesting, man, because like I said before, him saying all things, it was like, oh man, I don't know. Going back to the artist aspect, JB, the first time you wrote some bars, man, you wrote a song, bro. How long did it take you, man?
Oh man. Bro, that thing took forever. Especially if you're doing the first song, man. It's your first song, you want it to be everything. You like, man, how I need to say this or how I'm gonna say it or how I'm gonna come off with this verse and what word I need to put here. So it was difficult the first time, man. I ain't even gonna lie. It's like my man said with poetry. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. A song and poetry, they're in the same lane. You know what I mean? But man, it probably took me a good, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It took me about 4-5 days for the first song. But as I started making music, I was able to knock them out in a day. I was able to knock them out. Like I made some songs in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that just come with the repetition and the time that you put into it. You know what I'm saying? That's why that quote means so much. You know what I'm saying? By my man's, because I feel like the more you do things, the easier it get. The easier it get. You know what I'm saying? So that 4 days, I knocked that down to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Or I knocked that down to a day. Or you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's where I'm at with it.
Man, and thinking about everything that goes into making a whole song, think about that, how you can do that in 30 minutes. Woof, like that's.
Listen, as an artist, JB, I'm Bishop. Listen, man, maybe we gonna vibe the same way when it comes to this. The words don't even come from us sometimes.
It don't.
It's straight up be like we'll see the words and things that are around us.
Yeah.
Or it'll be like in our head and we can't get it out of our head. So it like to our head hurts. So we have to write it down to get it out.
Yeah.
And then it'll be before we know it, we have a song. Before we know it, we have a record. And just like, man, I didn't even know what that was.
Exactly.
So you keeping yourself open to that.
Exactly. And that's that. And I feel that's that power that God gave us to, especially as artists and creators, because sometimes we be speaking for other people. We don't even speak from us, from our situations. I know me. I speak from just some of the things I see sometimes. And somebody might hear my song and be like, bro, I ain't know he went through that. But if you really listen, I'm speaking on somebody else's situation. See what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely agree with you, bro.
Man. Yeah.
Oh, man. Miss Chandra, hey Chandra said, I'm late. What are we discussing? Don't worry about it, Chandra. You gonna get the hang of it. Just hang out with us for the next 32, 33 minutes. You gonna see. Michelle Johnson said, my strategy was to retire at 30, and I did. I'm living the best life. God is good.
Amen.
Yo, that's dope.
Retire at 30. Man,
how you do that? Have him hop on. Have him hop on. How you do that?
Good. Tara said, y'all are funny. Your heart is still comparatively easy. Y'all are blessed. 4 days. She talking about making a song in 4 days. She said, stupid flow in 3 seconds. Yeah, man. She aka She-Hulk, you have any, or a confident credit? I'm just gonna call you confident credit for the rest of the night.
You're right, because I am my business. Thank you.
Right. You have anything you want to add to that before you move on?
Not on the actual the quote. When I hear Bishop and Triumphant talk about like being able to put together music in that kind of way, I'm a little bit jealous of y'all because I can play music, I can read it, but to compose it is different, right? Like it's different. Like I've never composed anything for myself, so
And let me guess, that comes from the fact that you were actually trained on playing whatever instrument you're playing. You learned sheet music. Like, okay, so again, this is just me just kind of feeling the vibe, JB. Right. Like we learn what we do out of adversity.
Absolutely.
It was just like to not be stressed out or not to smack somebody straight over the head. Like I'm gonna do this with this rhyme.
Yeah.
And it came out of drama, and dare I say it, some trauma. But for somebody to be trained to me and saying, listen, this finger is what the A key goes on. This is where the B goes on. Yo, I'm jealous of that.
You tell me about it, bro. I was about to
jealous
say
of that.
Thing.
Man, all I had with the kitchen table, you know what I'm saying? that was it. That was it.
Yeah, man. For you to be able to read it and play it, that's a blessing right by itself. Because I ain't gonna lie, I wish I can play it. You know, I wish I can, read it the way you do. You know, the same way you feel about us, we feel the same way about you.
It's a yin yang type of thing.
You
You
know
know
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying?
Yeah.
Interesting.
For real.
I'm sitting here with all that, and I'm sitting here like, I can't spit a bar. I can't read no.
You a lot. Hold
Hey,
on.
y'all
Nah,
go
I
check
see you
Cordell
on
out.
Stupid Flow.
Stupid
You got
Flow.
flow. You got bars. You got bars.
You saw me on Super.
You got bars.
And you
Come
saw.
on, bro. You
You
got bars.
You saw something, but
They may be Snickers bars, but you got bars, King.
Hey,
Come on, man. Come on. Hey, it wasn't last week he said, man, I got a choice. Either I'm gonna be short or small.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, look.
He putting in the work with what he got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Bro been in that gym too.
Yeah.
Look at his arms.
Yeah, I just before I got on the show, I was like, I had to rush home and get something to eat and make sure my stuff was good. I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna do this again. Normally I don't do that, but you know,
I be wondering, man. I be wondering how you put your shirt on with your ears touching your shoulder blades like that.
Hey, yo, look, hey, I don't, man. We lost triumphant. He gone, yo. There said mission abort. Hey, that was probably the only thing I got.
Yeah,
on that was that mission abort. Michelle Johnson says she said I'm 58 now, still vacationing.
Nice.
Michelle, you might like. I know some people, and I might say people. I mean me. I'll pay for that financial plan.
Listen,
like you retired at 30, and you're 58 now.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome.
Man. Can I retire at 46? I'll take it. Like so.
Word.
I might have to get with Jay, and so we can get with you, and you can mass produce something. We need that.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be selfish. I'm gonna give it out after I read it first. You know what I mean? But y'all ready to go to the next quote?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's a little bit of a long one, so we gonna. So we set out to change the world and only ended up changing ourselves. Nothing is wrong with that as long as you don't look at the world. Oscar Wilde.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep because a lot of people look to try to change different things in the world without changing themselves first.
Mm.
And so I think that's what he's trying to say in this message. You know what I'm saying? We get so caught up in looking at the world that we don't even take time to look at ourselves and change what's on the inside first. Because you can't change nothing on the outside unless you change what's on the inside first. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. That's just how I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's we actually in premarital counseling we talked about one of the best ways to affect change is to start with starting your own backyard.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, look. Oh, we got a full house.
Rashad.
Man, it's the other part of Stupid Flow and the other part of Raleigh Barbers. Man, we
turned. We in here.
Word.
Blessed in here, man. We got all.
I had to go through it, man. I just tried 2 cell phones, my computer. Now I'm on the white computer, man.
Hey, man, we glad y'all got in here, man. This is amazing, man. I love this. I'm gonna do it like that. But no, Rashad, man, we were just talking. Well, actually, before that, man, we gotta let you do your thing, man. So, real quick, Rashad, man, let the people know, man, who you are, who you be, man.
Oh, I am Rashad, father of 3, and soon to be husband, barber, co-owner of Raleigh Barbers and co-host of Stupid Flow. That will be I.
You are him? Word, man. Well, man, glad to have you on, man. I love this right here, man. This is dope. I think this is the most amount of guests we've had all season, I think.
Come on now.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah. So but yeah, we're talking about this quote, Rashad, man, because that's what we're doing quotables this season. We're not doing topics anymore. So and the quote is, we set out to change the world and only ended up changing ourselves. nothing is wrong with that as long as you don't look at the world. It's quote by Oscar Wilde. And so I was saying that in one of our premarital counseling sessions, She-Hulk and I, or Miss Confident Credit, we were talking about, just the community and one of the ways that we could affect change. And I was saying how, one of the best ways to do that is to start with self. You start with your own backyard, because if everybody started in their own backyard, it would change the landscape as a whole, and so I think this quote, what it says to me is, if you change yourself, or you affect positive change within, don't look at the world as something needs to be changed, because by you changing yourself, you've already made a different impact on the world. You're going to interact with people differently. You're going to handle situations differently because you affected change within yourself, and that's going to ripple out into your effect onto the world. So you don't have to look at the world as something needs to be changed, because by making change within, and if large group of people are doing that, that change is going to happen without a whole bunch of hands in the pocket. That's what it says to me.
I like that. Who found that quote? I said, who came up with or found that quote?
The brother's name is Oscar Wilde.
Oh, okay. I thought it was you. I was about to say, okay.
No, man. Yeah, I could have put some quotables up here, but now, we pick them out. Jay and I pick them out. Really at random. Real quick, Sabrina. Hey, Sabrina. She said, I plan to retire at 50, latest 55. Michelle said, I can produce a strategy. Let's do it, Michelle. Let's do it.
Yeah.
By
Seriously.
I mean, all of us. I need that. Tara said, most folks improve themselves and get comfortable, forgetting there's still other missions to accomplish.
That's true.
That's big. That's big. Don't know who said peeps. Not sure who this is, unless it's Jay again.
It gotta be Jay.
It's probably Jay. Yeah, it's Jay.
But yeah, I think who else wants to jump on this? I know I talked and JB. Who else want to jump on this, man?
I'll go next. I kind of agree with the way that both of you guys said it. But of course, because I think about finances, I think about investment. So like right now with the market's not doing so great. Right now, everything in the news is not doing so great, but I still focus on changing myself and being a better me, and being able to kind of put that out into community. So when I look at it, I think about like changing the world, changing self, trying to make sure that I have impact on people who I can in a positive way. Absolutely. And nothing's wrong with that. And when it says like don't look at the world, like I'm very selective about what news I tune into, because some of it's so depressing, it's so discouraging. It's negative. And if my goal is to live a positive life, then I need to filter through those things, so that way I can continue to be light and love and light in others' lives. So that's how I see
it.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
No, most definitely, yeah. No, I think this is a great one. I like this one. This one is, it's a longer quote, but it has a whole lot. You think about changing the world. Some people they say they want to change the world, but it's like, what way? It's are we? Oh man, look, man.
Yo,
what's going on? Man, we literally have everybody that's at the Barbers establishment on right now. Oh man. Well, Britt, we aren't doing topics this season. We're doing quotables, but we're just finished doing this quote. But first of all, let the people know who you are, since you blessing us with your presence here.
Okay. I'm Britt, owner of Clippers and Lipstick. They call me Coco Razor.
Okay.
And I also have a nonprofit, Coco Cares.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
That's it.
Sports. And
Aren't you? So you're just gonna leave the rest of the stuff on the table? You're gonna turn off the TV. While she's doing that, the comment. So Michelle said, "All power is within self because you can only change self, and as far as the world, you can be in the world but not of it."
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. Chandra said, "We live in a negative world. Depression is on the rise." Talking about you.
Yeah, that's real too.
Terry said, "Brady Bunch squares." Break good.
Yes, I'm trying to find my little earbuds.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
It's cool. We're gonna come back to you. You can come back because you left a lot of stuff on the table. You know what I mean? So we're gonna come back to her when she come back. But before we move on, anyone else have anything else on this quote before we move on?
Well, what I got from it was more on the lines of the world being depressing and that getting to you. You know what I'm saying? You can allow that to take away your shine, you know what I'm saying? Whatever shine you're trying to bring out to the world. That can be blown out like a candle, man, watching the news and then certain people in your circle that's just, you try to bring them up to a certain level of consciousness, to a certain level of independence, and they don't want that. Yeah. And that can bog down on you. See, it's and I'm gonna end up answering this quote with about 10 other quotes as I do. But it's a whole lot easier to pull somebody down than it is to lift them up.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I know everybody on this panel that went through that at least once in their life. Yeah. And it be somebody that you really care about, somebody you love, a family member. It could be somebody that, back when we were saying last week about blood being thicker than water, but mud is thicker than blood. It could be your road dog that's just calling himself keeping it real and keeping it real dumb, keeping it real negative, keeping it real the same. When we're supposed to be evolving as a people. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody ready for that evolution. Yeah. Not everybody want to evolve. We got to accept that. But we can't allow that to take away from our evolution. We can't allow that to pull our energy down. We can't do that because we're supposed to be light for somebody else. We might not even know who that person is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that inspiration is what causes everything to continue to evolve. No matter how remote that person is that's watching you, you always being watched.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Especially now with the amount of information, the amount of just connectivity that we have as people on this planet. It's always somebody watching somewhere, like always. It's a scary thing. Chandra said, "I realized that although I wasn't prepared for a major change, I am changing myself as I'm navigating blatant sexual harassment from the city of Raleigh. This is my biggest obstacle yet." Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I hate that for you, Chandra. Like that's
That's deep,
Yeah.
It is.
You never want to hear that happening to anybody.
No.
It's another brother, man. I hate that for you. Hopefully, you're getting away from that situation.
Word. Yeah.
Chad said always. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but what's up, Chad, man? I'm not sure we're saying always too, but let us know. Need some clarification. Michelle Johnson said, "I don't deal with negative people. If I had, I wouldn't be where I am today." I get that. I'm not very fond of negative people myself. Once I get that vibe, I'm over this way. Like, because that is gonna look to it's gonna look to get some comrades and look to infect some other people. And I don't want that sickness, and I definitely don't want to be in that company,
Yeah.
So I'm cool on that. Once I get that vibe, I'm out, Okay. Y'all ready for the next one? Probably.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Everybody got something for this one. Nothing will work unless you do.
You better believe it.
Oh man, that's easy.
Better believe it.
That's easy.
Hey, look, you can sit there and talk all day long, but until you put some action in, ain't nothing happening.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing happening.
You right. Christina said, "Hey, beautiful people." Hey, Christina. Yeah. And you know, shoot, I think Britt included. Shoot, man, I got some of the hardest working people in the world on this panel right here today, man. Everybody in here today, I know works hard, man. They work. So, shoot, who else got something?
Like if we were taking it like spiritually, you know, like they always say, faith without work is dead. You know?
Beat me to it, yo. Beat me to it. You saw my mouth moving though, right? But nah, I let the lady do it. I let the lady do it.
So you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like how Bishop said, like you can talk about it, you can think about it, you can write that joint down, you can say you're gonna manifest it, but if you're not really and truly putting that work behind it, like it's not gonna happen. It's like the pistons in the engine. Like if those pistons aren't running together, the engine's not gonna run. Like so you got to put in the work to make that jump run.
Nah, for sure. Rashad, what you got, man? You quiet over there.
Oh, I'm a listener, man. I'm gonna see what y'all say, and then I'm gonna just repeat what y'all say. I'm just joking. Nothing will work unless you do. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how to elaborate on that one, man. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how to word. It's pretty just self-explanatory, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to definitely put work in order for anything to come to, fruition. I know a lot of people have a great talk game as far as about wanting to do X, Y, and Z. A lot of people have big hopes and dreams of accomplishing and doing a lot of things, but a lot of people get caught in the want and in the hype of how it sounds, and they kind of procrastinate on actually making it happen. I myself fall victim to that sometimes, just as being human.
We all have.
And that's just out of fear. But a lot of times you just got to put that one foot forward, man, and just take a chance and try, man. And nothing beats a failure but that. So you don't know what's for you until you take the chance on it.
Yeah.
And make some sacrifices, man. And that'll truly let you know what you're capable of doing. Because talking don't get you nowhere. It gives you a bigger headache, actually, because you're in the press yourself out, because then it turns into what if I would have.
Yeah.
And then you just sell yourself short, man.
Yeah. The shoulda, coulda, wouldas, man. That's
the worst.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're 30 years old and you could have conquered the world by then. And then before you know it, you're 40 years old and you definitely could have conquered the world. So, man, just give it a shot and work towards whatever it is that you're processing in your mind. Because if you can think it, you can definitely do it.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen,
And that's coming from a person who hasn't met all his goals yet. But I have that type of faith that you definitely can.
Yeah.
How to do that.
We all got that faith in you, bro.
Absolutely, man.
Christina said JB locks it on point.
Yeah. You see him, Stina.
Cordell locks dropping.
Man, finally, man, you know what I'm saying? I got tired of looking at y'all dudes got the length, man. Finally, I can be in the club, man. I can.
Hey, man, you finally got an invite in, bro. You in here?
Yeah, I'm not just looking at the window like.
Yo,
hey, my man at the bottom.
Hey,
man.
you got a long way to go, bro.
Yo, I had my era in the 20s. All right. But after having kids, you get something called a receding hairline. I'm way back here like a Shaolin monk. I was done with all that after that.
Man, Mike said the KIDS got him. That's what got him.
Man.
Michelle Johnson said, the ambition is what drove me and the goals. Yeah. Christina said, doers paint the pictures, not just imagine them. Yeah. And Christina said, Rashad, you looking sharp too, bro. She said,
appreciate it.
Man.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, I agree with everyone saying. I mean, I do believe this is one of the more self-explanatory quotes, so we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. It's just, and when she says, the only thing I say is when she says nothing will work, I don't think she means just like function, but actually progress and move into a positive direction. That requires like confident, Miss Confident Credit was saying, it requires the piston, it requires the movement to make that work, like, which is you're the piston that's going to move the engine, which is your purpose and your goals. So if the pistons aren't moving in unison and moving in the right direction, doing what they're supposed to do, the engine, which is your goals and your that stuff, is not going to go in the right direction. You have to go in the proper direction for things to work, aka go in the proper direction. So, I think that's one of those things that's in there too, because work, has a lot of meanings. People work and do stuff, but when things work out, when things really work, it's speaking of things working in their or being in their proper place, in the proper time, and for the right purpose. So yeah. All right, we're gonna do one more before we, what I'm saying? We'll do one more. Let's see here. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
Yeah. So defining myself as opposed to being defined by others is one of the most difficult challenges I face. Carol Mosley Braun, politician and lawyer.
All right, so this actually reminds me of the book I'm reading. It's a really good book. It's called Single on Purpose. And no, it's not about bashing relationships. It's about formulating a relationship with yourself. But he talks about in a chapter how it's hard to define who you are and to really love yourself when, since birth, you've been stuffed with like what you're supposed to look like, what you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing, what's defined as success, what body type is defined as sexy or attractive. Like when you decide to actually define yourself, it really takes a lot of breaking down those things, those learned behavior, those learned thoughts, things that's been fed into you for a very long time. And it's difficult. But it needs to be done. You know what I mean? Like media has way too much control over like, what the status quo is or what you're supposed to look like or just things of that nature. So the media can define who you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to look like, is what you would think after a while. But you have to get to a point where you define who you are, what you want to be, and what works for you and what's beautiful, to you. So I know that's definitely a hard challenge because I battle with it myself when thinking about body types, because women are so sexualized. Like, it's just, there's a status quo of what your body's supposed to look like. And I can't look like Kim Kardashian because I'm not going to pay that much. But I'm gonna get in this gym right here, and whatever body I get is the one I'm going to be happy with. And it's just making a conscious decision to be happy with yourself, opposed to allowing other people to determine what your happiness should look like.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, real quick, Michelle Johnson said, "Good night, all. Gotta catch my flight." That's right. She's
okay. Bye.
Good night, Michelle.
We're
gonna get together about that strategy, honey, because I feel like
word.
We can figure this thing out.
That need to be a whole show on its own.
You know what I mean? Tara said, "This is the biggest win, taking the Love is Parable workshops classes, digging up to self and values that shape that." Look at her. Just look at it's Tara plugging the classes and everything. But yeah, someone classes at least 7 or 8 times. Man, yeah. Those taking the Love is Parable course really just kind of changed a lot of stuff for me, man. Really, I dare say I changed my life, man. But yeah, let's see, Chandra said, "Oh my God, yes, I lost 175 pounds, and people still comment. And although my weight loss was for me, I find it astonishing the push for BBLs."
It's crazy.
Wow.
175 pounds. Wow, Chandra, that's amazing. Like,
Yeah, it is.
right there.
It's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
To lose just 10.
Yeah. 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 Who wants to tackle this next? Who else try to follow?
It could be let's flip it though. Let's flip it. All right. So maybe defining yourself being a difficult challenge is because maybe you're thinking too small of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that people on the other side of things, like, okay, this person is a politician and a lawyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
It don't say what type of lawyer this person is. What if this lawyer was a defense attorney?
Mm-hmm.
To them, they just a lawyer. To that dude that was about to be in the Bing and you brought him out, you close to Jesus right there. You can save this dude's life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think, and then also we talked a little bit about, the fear of doing things, procrastination and stuff like that. I don't think it's always just a fear of failure.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fear of success.
Yeah, that's
you know
right.
how much harder a fear it is when you actually hit that on the mark and you got to keep doing that now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A person that's a successful politician and a lawyer then hit that mark a number of times to where they got that title. But they try to be humble, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get movie stars, athletes or whatever. I just play basketball. You got people worship them on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Ain't nobody asked for all that. You know what I'm saying? So it could go on both sides of this coin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna stand on the truth. We gotta let that flip on both sides and just see scholarly.
Yeah.
How we can approach something like that. A quote like that, it deserves both sides of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Facts.
Yeah. No, you definitely took it to the other side, man. And speaking of that, that pressure of hitting the mark, man. The late great Nipsey Hussle, man, said the same thing. He said, man, you make your first million, there's pressure on your shoulder after that. You gotta keep because not only are you wondering what's next, other people wonder, hey, what's next? You made that first million, what's up? What's after that? You gonna go for 10, 20? So like I said earlier, you got people watching your moves. Not only for inspiration, but just watching because they just want to see what's going on. But yeah, I definitely think defining self is difficult because from such a young age, you have your parental figures, then you have other extended family members, then you have people that you meet. There's a lot of forces that seek to define you from a young age, even before you can learn how to define yourself. So I understand, saying that it's one of the most difficult challenges because you have people who are in their 30s and 40s or even older who don't really have a good grip on who they are.
Yeah.
What their purpose is. I mean, I didn't know who I was and my purpose until I was in my early 30s.
Yeah.
And by early 30s, I'll be 36 this year. So we're talking 5 years ago. I spent a lot of time, regrettably, letting other people and other forces kind of have more of a majority share of what and who I was and defining me. And a challenge that a lot of people face because of the fact that because of the age that we're in, everyone has an opinion, but also there's so much visually, there's so much out here. You're speaking about the athletes and stuff like that. People now, they want to aspire to be athletes, and people say, I know we've all have seen the super tall dude. It's like, oh man, you got to play basketball. And when he or she says they don't like basketball, they don't want to play basketball. Some people are like, what? Huh? No, you wasting talent. It's like, no, that's not them. You're defining them off of what you see, off of a set of off a set of characteristics or attributes, but you don't even know them. But you're defining them, even if it's just you're attempting to define them, and you don't really know nothing about them. You know what I mean? So I definitely get it because it's easy, and don't be wrong, it's easy to give that power over to other people instead of taking it for yourself and defending it when people try to act like you don't know you. It's easy to give people be like, you know what, you tell me what. It's easy to do that because that means you don't have to do it. Let other people do it. But when you relinquish that power to other people, you can't, one, it's kind of hard to take it back. And then two, if you don't like the result, you can't be mad at them. You literally gave them the access and the power to do that. So it's, this is, I think this is something, man, that a lot of folks, especially younger people coming up in the cyber generation, are going to struggle with because there's so much, it's like sensory overload, information overload, especially stuff like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. You have so much information coming at you, and quite a bit of it, man, is twisted and false, and
That's real, bro.
Yeah, Tara said, talk to Sir before you even know what you're working with. Exactly. She said, "My dude just wants to raise alpacas."
Right. Let them be great.
You know what I mean? He wants to be like that commercial where they got Trey Young and the other lady basketball player. The dude is like,
yeah,
you need my help? I can reach it. He want to be one of you guys full time. We want to help people go around, people reach stuff and they can't reach. But no,
right.
Yeah, man. So this quote really hits me hard, man, because being someone who traveled all around the world, for half their life, being around so many different people and people having their opinions and not really confident enough all the time to really express and say, no, I don't want to do that. This is what my heart says that I want to do. Like, man, it can be exhausting to have so many people just putting their 2 cents in on what and who you are and doing it. Sometimes it's passive, sometimes it's a little bit more aggressive, but really, attempting to define you. Leave me alone and just observe and just be, and just politic with me. But you ain't gotta, try to define all that I am. I'm not calling for that. Let me, live and make that decision and come into that on my own. And quite a few folks, man, they have that taken away from them, and they don't notice. They don't even notice until later on in life.
Yeah. That's some real stuff, Cordell.
Yeah, man.
I feel about y'all pretty much. Y'all summed it up for me, man. Is to me, all of it is a programming, and we've been programmed with that since we was young. Now, some people, it's hard to get out of that programming. You know what I mean? And it goes on for years until they have that one moment where they just stop for 1 second and consciously think, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they can go and start to break those layers back down. But by then, we've been running that same cycle for so long, it's hard to change after a while. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes hard. And so you talking about defining yourself, man. That can be a big one for a lot of people. It could be real. It could be big for a lot of people, bro. I just live life. I really don't care. What people may say or think about me, but it took me some time to get to that point. You know what I mean? It takes time to get to that point. You know what I mean? And if I just hit 30, just thinking about what other people and how long it's gonna take them, it's gonna be a while for a lot of people. Everybody don't move at the same pace, but I say for everybody that's listening, just start with loving yourself first.
Yeah.
Just start with loving you and block out all that negative energy that's coming your way. For real.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. No, this was a great one to end on, for real, man. But who else has anything? I know. Y'all deep in thought over there.
I gave my little 2 cents.
I'm trying to let my man's over here say something because What am I pointing? I'm pointing over here because he's been too quiet.
I'm a listener, man.
Nah, man.
I'm an observer.
Nah, you ain't coming here and get on camera with the shades and all that to just listen. We seeing you. We need to hear you, man. We need to hear you, bro.
Face without these, man.
And I wear glasses at night to drive, man. So I feel you, bro.
That's how I started until I became a barber.
Oh,
and my haircuts got better, and now I'm blind.
We contact gang over here, man. I don't know if y'all wear contacts, but I wear contacts.
Nah,
I had to get rid of the glasses, man.
Oh, okay. I'm a frame man, but yeah, I have to wear them all the time right now.
Yeah.
Sure you want anything, Rashad, man?
I take mine off for the camera. I'm a hybrid.
Word. Okay. All right. Well, nah, man. I will say, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for showing up today. This has been, I always love it. I never want to be up here by myself, and that's boring. I can always.
Where's Jay?
He's doing he's in a musical production, man. It's called Finding Patience, bro. He's been in rehearsals for the past like 2 months, and now performances started today. Performances will be running from this Thursday up until I think for the next 2 weeks, man. It's a big thing, bro. Like the rehearsals are like 4 days, 4 times a week, 4 hours. Like it's big. So he had to step away to get that done. So he'll be back in probably about 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's what's up.
That's what's
up, though. It's a live performance.
Yeah, man.
Locally.
Yeah, it's up in Fuquay.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
man.
What's up, man?
Yeah, so I'm actually I'll put that information in the chat later on so people can. I don't know if the tickets are all sold out, but yeah, man, it's a big thing, man. So I think, as a matter of fact, I think this is like his second or third year doing it. Like
he acts.
Yeah, Jay.
I can see that, yo.
Yeah,
I can see Jay
acting, activist.
Yeah.
Academia, man. Jay got 13.
All them alphabets that he got behind his name, man. It's very little things he don't do.
Man, learned and credentialed and talented, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So
that's dope, though, man.
Terry said it's sold out.
Sold out.
My book got sold out shows out here. Stop playing with me.
Yeah, man. Man, Jay told folks once he started putting the letters behind his name, he said, "Y'all not putting enough respect on it, so I'm gonna have to do this." So
Jay turning up on him.
Yeah, no, he's really doing his thing, man. He can't wait to get back, man. But he's doing that, and then he gonna get back with us, man. But before we go to Positive Brother Shout Out, I just want to reiterate that if y'all don't know, y'all can go on Anchor and listen to the podcast. If you don't necessarily have time to be on live or you don't want to, be on Facebook or YouTube or anything, you can go on Anchor, and we're on like Google Podcasts, Spotify. We're on all of them, but you definitely check us out. And we go live from 4 different places. We go live from Facebook Live, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. So you can catch us on all the platforms. We're even on we're not going to go live on Instagram, but you can catch stuff on there too. So we're on everything except Snapchat. So but right now we go to our my favorite portion of the show, Positive Brother Shout Out. So everyone here has done Positive Brother Shout Out before, so y'all already know how it goes. So we are going to start with ladies first. Miss Confident Credit, go ahead and do your Positive Brother Shout Out.
Well, I actually want to shout out all of you guys because I think you guys are dope anyway, but you're all creatives, all of you. And to me, it's one thing to be creative, but it's another to express it, to, expose yourself with it and put it out there in the world. So I think all of you guys are dope. So Bishop, Triumphant, Rashad, Cordell, of course. We'll shout you guys out. And I also want to take the time to actually shout out my regional leader. His name is Brad McCray, and I'm shouting him out because of who he is, the opportunity that he provides. And I think we're kind of like-minded because he wants to get into the community and get a little financial literacy out there. But he's definitely paving the way. He's doing it as a Black man. He's doing it. And yeah, that's who I'm going to shout out this week.
That's what's up.
Before we Do the next one. Tara also said the mistake is thinking the defining stops. We constantly grow into self.
Mm-hmm.
That is true because I'm still defining myself, and I'm knocking on the door of 40. Like 40 is like it staring at me from the sewer. It's like
it's not.
Wow. Okay. But Bishop, you next, my brother. Positive brother, shout out, man. Bishop, you good?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You froze.
Okay, it's going in and out. I can't hear or see y'all. Y'all popping in and out.
Oh, they got them in the Matrix, yo.
All
They
right.
done pulled them in.
All right. Bishop got technical difficulties. You back now, Bishop, bro?
Okay, I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah,
okay,
you good.
okay.
All right. Shout out, man.
I want to shout out. First of all, I want to shout out God. I want to shout out everybody that's doing their thing, especially in the entrepreneur world. Shout out my brother Rashad. That's my brother. Brother. Shout out to everybody on this live right now. And thank you, Confident Credit, for shouting us out.
She and her brother, we'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Make a little exception for her. You know what I mean? Rashad, man, you next, bro. Positive brother, shout out, man. You muted, bro? You muted, man. Unmute yourself, man.
Here we go. All right, look, I want to shout out all the fathers, man. All the active fathers who making sure that they do what they have to do in their kids' life on a frequent basis and sowing those seeds in their kids. I also want to shout out Raleigh Helping Hands, not the Helping Hand mission, but Helping Hands is a program of mentors that help out young Black men here in Raleigh. Special shout out to Tony Daniels, who was my mentor when I was in middle and high school and still is mentoring to this day. So big shout out to him.
Yeah, no, that big.
Hey.
Big shout out. What's up, man? Triumphant.
Shout out to all teachers, all those, whether they got accredited or not, even if they just sitting on the stoop in the hood trying to give the bill. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of those. Shout out to Travis Perry, a person who I actually got by a government name who was homeless. And on his sign, read out there in Durham, when 54 and 55 hit together, I'm not trying to beg. I just want a job. I got a criminal record. Somebody help me. Shout out to that kid. Yeah. Shout out to definitely the fathers, because in a minute, you know, we supposed to be getting some neckties and power tools, but we probably won't get neither one of those. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that. You know what I mean? Shout out to all creatives, especially those who are active out here in the community, trying to get other people to be creative, because we need that creative energy, because the negative energy takes away our creativity. That's it. That's all I need.
Man, I got all the good ones, man. What am I gonna say? No, man, I definitely want to shout out to our brothers that came on to the live tonight, man. Came off the show tonight, man. We have been as far as Raleigh Barbers, Bishop and Rashad. We're trying to get on for a couple weeks now. We finally made it happen. So I'm happy about that we got on, man, because these are some dope brothers, man. They not only do they have a great thing going with Stupid Flow, but they also are nice with them clippers, man. Like, you know, and the greatest thing about these brothers is they have a scheduling app. So you don't have to do all that, hey, how many heads you got? Or I gotta come in and I gotta sit and I gotta wait. Nah, you go on the app. You go on Schedulicity, you go in there and you block your time, what you need done, and it's done. Like that right there changed my life. I'm bougie now. I'm not going to sit in nobody's barbershop waiting for a chair. Nah, if you can't schedule me up, I don't want it. I'm bougie. I'm bougie. But nah, man, but definitely shout out all y'all brothers, man. Triumphant, man. Like just like before, man. I told you, bro, last week, man. It's a blessing, man, and this is gonna be something that we do more and more, bro. This is only the beginning, man. So Like this is just going to be something that's going to happen way more frequently. But yeah, definitely shout out to y'all, man, for making this show just monumental. And I want to shout out the elders, the true elders, brothers in the community, man, because a lot of people say that they're elders, but they take that title and they think they have it because they were blessed with old age. But true elders, man, they earn that title. True elders have the respect of the community and the generations that are above them, as well as their peer generation. I'm blessed to know quite a few elders, true elders, man, who really have respect and really instill knowledge, and they listen to the younger generations, and they seek to keep that bridge intact. They don't let it crumble. They keep it intact. So shout out to the elders, man, because we don't have many true elders, unfortunately. We have a bunch of people pretending, and then we have some people who are actual elders, but it's not enough true elders. We got way more pretenders and representatives than we do actual elders who are out here stepping and really going into, the younger generation and getting their peers together saying, hey, man, respect these younger generation, because they were us at one point. They were new tribes and tribulations in this world. So shout out to the elders, man, and also shout out to the brothers that take time to be brothers, man. Like we were just talking before about how people talk a good game. It's a bunch of brothers, man, who talk about how they want to do this for other brothers, how they got to call such and such, how they've been meaning to get up with such and such, they really care about such and such, but there's no action behind it. Look at the phone log. They ain't call, text nobody. It's always they ain't hit me up or they ain't talk to me. But where's the action behind it, man? So that's something that we also are lacking, man. Is brothers really just taking the time to be brothers. I'm not saying that's easy. Maintaining relationships is work. It's not something that you do for kudos, and there's no reward at the end saying, hey, you're the best. You're the best brother. It's something that you do because the community in the world needs it. Brothers need to be tapped in and politicking with other brothers. We're not going to solve these other problems if we don't. So I want to shout out the brothers who take time to be brothers, man, because that is a job. That's work that, it ain't glamorous, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's needed. So anyway, that's it for me. And, we thank everybody for, sticking with us. And if you don't know anyone who says they love you or they care about you or, and they mean it, man, you just met 5 people who you can connect with, man. And we are all great people who really are, want to be tapped in the community and help. So connect with us, the triumphant one, Raleigh Barbers, Confident Credit. You can connect with all of us, on Facebook. We'll put our information in the comments. Like, we here and we need it. And if you need a cut, check out Raleigh Barbers. They told you. And schedule app, bro. I'm bougie now. But anyways, man. Y'all get out of here. Everybody stay on. Everyone else, we love y'all. Y'all tune in next week. You don't know what's gonna happen. We might pull somebody else out the crowd. But anyways.
A brother is someone that you can trust. A brother can sometimes be just a warming embrace, someone that you can depend on, and someone that has loyalty and that you show loyalty to.